Picture this. It's the middle of the 1700s in Europe, and your career is as a taxonomist. One of those dudes who classify and name the different species of animals and plants. You're sitting around with other taxonomists, naming new birds, maybe some flowers you found over the weekend, but just as you're about to wrap up, one of your friends from the group says, "Yo, guys, we spend all this time naming other species, but we don't yet have a name for our species, the human species. What is it that makes us special or different from all of those other animals?" Well, one taxonomist perks up and says, "I think humans should be called Homo politicus, those who create governments." Another says homosexualis, those humans who are perpetually in heat and procreating. A third interjects, "How about Homo sapiens, those who think?" And a fourth settles on Homo faber, those who make things. Now, we know that Homo sapiens won the debate, but we should think it's significant that those who make things, Homo faber, made it to the final round. As the opening scene from 2001: A Space Odyssey makes clear, humans are distinctly different from other animals because of our ability to manipulate our environments. We sleep on beds, not dirt. We get our water from pipes, not by fetching it from the river. And we stay warm at night from a furnace, not by sleeping next to a fire. All of these environmental manipulations are what technology historian Ruth Schwartz Cowan defines as technologies. Those things that people have created so that they can exploit or manipulate the natural environment in which they are living. This definition of technology includes both the tools used to produce things, as well as those things the tools produce. A hammer, for example, is a technology that can build shelter technology we call homes. Technologies are never separate from the people who use them, and some technologies inspire heated debate and controversy when they are first introduced. That's why, in the winter of 1903, a group of doctors in Boston had mixed feelings about a new medical technology, the sphygmomanometer. Today we call this precise yet verbose technology a blood pressure cuff, and we use it almost every single time we enter the hospital for a checkup or treatment. But back in 1903, some doctors were skeptical of the new device. After all, doctors at the time were trained to check a patient's blood pressure by hand, using the doctor's finger and the pulse of the patient, and the timing of a stopwatch. However, other doctors debating the issue pointed out that the new blood pressure cuff would be more accurate, objective, and provide less room for operator error. A nurse could use a blood pressure cuff accurately without the many hours of training that doctors would undergo to take a patient's blood pressure by hand. The story of the sphygmomanometer shows us that our ideas or ethical positions about technology are actually ideas about technology in relation to something else. For the blood pressure cuff, your ideas about how good or bad it is will be in relation to how much you value the personal skill of a doctor versus the objective measurement of a blood pressure cuff. To use a more modern example, when you judge an e-bike rider as lazy, you're making a judgment of the technology in relation to one's health and fitness, not the actual bike itself. Debates about good or bad technologies existed in the United States long before the word technology came into widespread use. Thomas Jefferson, one of our founding fathers, argued that the virtuous state had to be composed of virtuous citizens, and farming was the only kind of work that inclined an individual toward virtue. Jefferson represented the romantic view of technology, where citizens would use their tools and their hands at home in order to improve upon their land through farming in this new country. Alexander Hamilton, on the other hand, the Secretary of Treasury under George Washington, had a different view of technology in America. In Hamilton's view, God had given America all of this resourceful land, and we should do more with it than the simple farming that Jefferson had in mind. Hamilton and his co-author Tench Coxe argued that Americans should exploit their natural environment for manufactures and commerce. Commerce meant simply profiting off the land, but the term manufactures set Hamilton and Coxe apart from Jefferson. By manufactures, what they meant was industrialization. They were advocates for machines to do the work that had previously been done by hand. This set up an informal yet consequential debate between, on the one hand, those romanticists like Jefferson who saw technology as largely hand tools that were put into action by human skill. On the other hand, the industrialists saw technology as a way to take hands out of the equation. Unlike people, machines don't get tired and they can perform the same action over and over again. Although hand tools alter nature, argue the Romanticists, machine tools destroy nature and take away from human qualities like artistry, creativity, and sensitivity. This is why the Romanticists claimed that by robbing people of their ability to use and develop their skills with hand tools, machines were essentially robbing people of their freedom. So today, when someone claims that online dating isn't real dating, or when your dad says fly fishing is more pure than other types of fishing, or when your teacher says that learning online isn't as interactive as in the classroom, they're continuing these romantic claims and debates about technology at the foundation of the United States. Today we learn that making things or working with our hands was thought to be a fundamental human pursuit for most of our history. We learned that, although the word technology was not common in the United States until the 20th century, debates about the ethics of technology in the United States and its relation to our democracy have been popular since its founding. Whatever your ethical stance is on, say, a sphygmomanometer, our ideas about technology are actually ideas about the technology in relation to something else like nature, social status, job skill, gender, or even politics. We learned that Romanticists thought good technologies were hand tools and required artistry, creativity, and sensitivity applied to working with those hand tools. The Romanticists, however, clashed with the Industrialists, who did not believe good technology stopped with hand tools, but that the large machines could actually save people from the drudgery of work while providing a few with the wealth made by exploiting their environment. Lastly, no matter your side of the debate, the romantic versus industrial ideals of technology are bound to continue today.